Kevin Carney with MovieDemo.com, reviewing Verizon's visual voicemail on the BlackBerry Storm. I'm going to be doing other reviews of the Storm, but for right now I'm just covering the visual voicemail to give you an idea of what it looks like. You get a little window that pops up showing you missed calls. Also, it gives you a history. You can back out of that. If you click on the visual voicemail button, actually I clicked twice and hit the erase button there by mistake. Just select no. Also, that orange obviously doesn't appear in the actual thing. I'm just blocking out a phone number I don't want you to see. The first call was made from me just a minute ago. Second call I'll play a little bit later, but this will give you an idea what it looks like.
With MovieDemo.com, just leaving a voicemail so that the viewers can see what a visual voicemail looks like.
And you can do a rewind if somebody gave you a phone number or something you wanted to hear over again. This next voicemail message comes with a little bit of background history that I have to fill you in on. First of all, I'm an airline pilot and I travel all over the place. When I get phone calls from home when I'm on the road and they're out of the blue and I'm not expecting them, I get a little bit nervous. When I get phone calls from home from somebody that never has called me before, I get very nervous. This voicemail message is from my father-in-law, and just taxied in. Keep this in mind, land the airplane, deal with weather, taxi in, get to the gate, shut down the engines, I boot up the cell phone, and up pops this message from my father-in-law. I am very nervous. I start to think to myself, do I go to the hotel room or do I stay on board the aircraft, fly back across the country to rent a car and then race home? What should I do? So as I play this message, keep those thoughts in mind. Also, another thing, he's never called me before, other than the fact that I know his voice and I know that this is him on the cell phone. You're hearing it just as I heard it. We did not have a background discussion about the subject that's going to be covered. This is the first time I've heard it. So here we go. Here's the crisis that warrants a phone call to an airline pilot while he's on the road.
I was just trying to call Sandra second time. I just popped off Lorraine there, and I told her she could get some bounty in Walmart too, and so she gets Sandra a pack too while she's there. If you could get a hold of Sandra on the phone, tell her that I called and you can get the bounty for the toilet paper and get a pack for Sandra too. Bye.
So no doubt you're probably wondering how it all worked out, a little bit worried about it. The situation was handled without any interaction from me at all. It took care of itself before I even landed, thankfully. Getting a little choked up over it. But moving on to my thoughts on the visual voicemail offered for the Verizon BlackBerry Storm. There is a cost associated with it. There's a fee, a monthly fee. Given that, I'm not going to mention how much it is because fees change all the time. But given the fact that there is a fee associated with it, for me personally, it's not worth the cost. I don't get that many voicemail messages, so the fact to have them visually displayed isn't really a high priority for me. However, you can try it out for a month and just cancel it from your service, or even in the middle of the month, and they'll prorate the cost that's associated with it. Those of you that are business execs that are getting hundreds of phone calls a day with tons of voicemail, having the visual aspect of it may appeal to you, and you may be interested in that. So be sure to look at MovieDemo.com to see the other stuff that I'm going to do here about the BlackBerry Storm, provided I find the time in between handling all the crises on the home front. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I appreciate you using Game Demo. Well, I was going to say GameDemo.com, but MovieDemo.com as well.